All right, guys. So today was one of those days where things weren't going as planned and everything was actually going against me. And it's still currently going against me. And it's taking a lot out of me not to let it get to me and to keep pushing with whatever it is that I have to do. But the funny part is that while life is pushing me back, this whole experience is actually related to the video that I had planned out today. So I guess it all works out. And the first thing I want to touch base upon is the overemphasis on not having the all or nothing mindset, which I totally stand for. But there's an underemphasis on us feeling entitled after one day of consistency. So, for my people that don't know what the all or nothing mindset is, it's basically the mindset where you think that one bad day ruins all your progress and therefore you become discouraged and stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. But people underemphasize the fact that we are all guilty of feeling like one good day means that we deserve to reap some kind of reward. And just to put things into perspective for you guys, if one bad day doesn't mean that all your progress will be ruined, that innately means that one good day won't necessarily progress you any further. And it all comes down to the accumulation of a bunch of good days or a bunch of bad days that will dictate how far you will get in whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. I think the number one cause of us having these terrible mindsets is social media. Because on social media, no matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that has already accomplished that and is basically selling you this internet porn where they tell you that you will accomplish X thing in X amount of time. So they promise and guarantee you this time frame of when you're going to achieve X results. And the truth about that is that you don't know when your day is going to come. You can have the most optimized routine, you can over plan as much as you want, but you will never be able to set a date and time on the calendar and say, this is when I will achieve X goal and it will happen on that day because I said so and because that's what my plan says. You know why? Because there's something called life, and life throws you a bunch of curveballs. And that's the reason that the majority of people fail, is because when life throws them a curveball, the first thing they do is instead of catching that ball and throwing it right back, they let it hit them and push them down and they never get back up. That might have been the worst analogy I could have used. But, anyways, this all ties into the concept of consistency compounds. What you do today is not necessarily going to guarantee you anything tomorrow. But what you do in accumulation is what's going to promise you X result. But again, you will never know when that day comes. And I feel like that's the thing that sucks for a lot of us, because as humans, we tend to like to have control over everything in our lives. And when we don't have control over something, we start to freak out and panic and overthink about the what ifs. And that's what stops a lot of us. So for my guys out there that maybe had a consistent day today, great. I'm proud of you. But understand that when you wake up the next day, the clock resets, bro. Everything that you did yesterday innately doesn't matter unless you do the same thing today and the same thing the next day and the next day after that. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it all comes down to momentum, right? How long can you keep showing up every single day until it's your day? And even after it's your day, right? Unless you want to stay stagnant or lose all your progress, you're going to have to keep showing up. But by that time, I think it gets a bit easier, because once you see the result from something, you know that it works. So then it pushes you to work even harder. But for people that are first starting off, who knows when you're going to see that result? And that's the part that bothers people. That's the part that's mentally draining. That's why not everybody's built for everything. People are built to do specific things, because a lot of people don't have the mental capacity to actually walk through things blindly. Because again, if you don't know when the day is going to come, you're essentially working and working and working and working, knowing that one day it'll work, but you don't know when. And if life situations have you on a time clock, then that can put a lot of pressure on you. And when you have a lot of pressure on you, that's like your make it or break it moment, right? You either keep pushing and you make it, or you break and you lose all your progress. And this is also a reminder that even though you might think you're having a bad day, somebody else out there is having an even worse day. And in comparison, your day is sunshine and rainbows. So keep pushing, right? Like today. Today, I wouldn't say I had a bad day, but I had a pretty disruptive day. I had a day where everything that I felt like I was doing, I felt like it was wrong. And I felt the need to reevaluate whatever I had going on and try a different approach. But the truth is that after sitting down, taking a breath, and just really thinking logically, I came to the conclusion that it was really just one of those days and that I just got to keep pushing. That's why honestly, I got home not that long ago. It's pretty late already and I still have a couple of things to do. Actually, a bunch of things to do. And I could say, well, I've been pretty consistent the past week or so, or the past couple weeks. So I could just go to sleep and it wouldn't matter because one bad day doesn't ruin all your progress. But why would I do that when I know that I can keep compounding my consistency? Once I do that, I shorten the length of when my day will come. And that's another thing. While you don't know when your day is going to be, you can shorten the time by continuing to stack on those wins. But all those days that you miss out on, you're lengthening the time frame of when your day will actually come. So yeah, I know today was a bit of a rant, but I hope that it actually helped a lot of you guys that might be going through a tough time right now, might be trying to pursue something, and might be overthinking about the what ifs, or might have been having bad days this week and thinking about whether it's really worth it or whether they'll really achieve whatever it is you're going after. And this is just a reminder that you will. As long as you keep showing up and putting in the work and making sure that it is God's will for you, it is inevitable. It will happen. You just don't know when.